Hello everyone, welcome to the video lecture series on Chemical Engineering Thermodynamics 1. Myself, Jaimin Pandya, Assistant Professor in Chemical Engineering Department of LJ Institute of Engineering and Technology. So in this video lecture, continue with the previous chapter which is the heat effect, and this video lecture will talk about the heat effect on industrial reaction and calculate various numerical which based on effect of temperature on heat of reaction. So let's start with heat effect of industrial reaction. In industry, reactions are rarely carried out under standard state condition. In actual reaction, the reactant may not be present in stoichiometric proportion. The reaction may not go to the completion and the final temperature may differ from the initial temperature. Moreover, inert species may be present and several reactions may also occur simultaneously. The calculation of heat of actual reaction or calculation of heat effect of industrial reaction are based on ideal gas state for all gases. So this is all about the industrial reaction and effect of heat on industrial reaction. Now let's calculate various numerical which based on heat of reaction or effect of temperature on heat of reaction. So let's start with this numerical. So in this numerical, given that how much heat is required when 200 gram of CaCO3 is heated at atmospheric pressure from 30 degrees Celsius to 700 degrees Celsius. Cp by R is equal to 12.572 plus 2.637 multiplied by 10 raised to minus 3T minus 3.12 multiplied by 10 raised to 5 T raised to minus 2 in Kelvin. So this data is given. Using this data, we have to calculate how much heat is required for 200 gram of CaCO3 is heat at atmospheric pressure from 300 degrees Celsius to 700 degrees Celsius. So let's calculate this numerical. So let's calculate how much heat is required when 200 gram of CaCO3 is heat at atmospheric pressure from 30 degrees Celsius to 700 degrees Celsius. Cp upon R data is given. So let's first write given data. So in data given that mass of 200 gram, then told that T1 which is 30 degrees Celsius, which means 303.15 Kelvin, and T2 which is 700 degrees Celsius, which means 973.15 Kelvin. And if we want to find out number of moles, then N is equal to mass of particular substance divided by molecular weight of that system. That can be given by 100 and it will become 2 gram per mole. We require mole in equation, that's why calculate this number of moles. So we know that at constant pressure Q is equal to delta H. In statement given that heat is required when 200 gram of CaCO3 is heat up at atmospheric pressure, which means constant pressure. For constant pressure, heat is equal to enthalpy change, and enthalpy change or heat that can be given by integration of NCP delta T or dt. So can write that Q is equal to delta H is equal to integration of T1 to T2 and Cp dt. Now we have value of Cp upon R. So if we want Cp upon R here, then we have to multiply and divide by R in this term. So let's divide and multiply with R in this term. So we will get N into R into integration of T1 to T2 Cp upon R dt. Now easily can use this value of Cp in this equation. So let's put this value. So can this equation becomes Q is equal to delta H is equal to N into R integration of T1 to T2 value of Cp upon R, which given in statement, using this value and replacing this Cp upon R by this value, we will get 12.572 plus 2.637 multiplied by 10 raised to minus 3 t multiplied by 10 raised to 5 t raised to minus 2. This is a 10 raised to 5, not 105. So rearranging this term or integrating this term can easily calculate heat required for 200 gram of CaCO3 from 30 degrees Celsius to 700 degrees Celsius. So let's rearrange this equation. So by rearranging this equation, we will get R into N integration of T1 to T2, T1 which is 303.15 Kelvin and T2 which is 973.15 Kelvin. Now value of Cp upon R, which is 12.572 plus 2.637 multiplied by 10 raised to minus 3 into T minus 3.12 multiplied by 10 raised to 5 whole raised to minus 2 into dt. So putting value of this T1 and T2 in this equation. Now integrating this equation, we will get 8.314, which is a value of R multiplied by number of moles, which is 2 multiplied by this equation. By integrating this equation, we will get 12.572 into T plus 2.637 multiplied by 10 raised to minus 3. So there is a T integration of this T, which becomes T square upon 2, then minus value of 3.12 multiplied by 10 raised to 5. Integration of this T whole raised to minus 2, that can be given by T whole raised to minus 1 and minus 1. Minus minus becomes plus. So this term becomes like this, and upper limit and lower limit is 303.15 Kelvin and 973.15 Kelvin. So these both are limit. Now let's put this limit instead of this T. So let's putting this limit instead of this value of T, 16.628. If we are going to multiply this both term, we will get 16.628 into 12.572 973.15 minus 303.15. So using this upper limit minus lower limit, upper limit which is a 973.15, so write 973.15, then lower limit which is a 303.15, so write 303.15 plus value of this which is a 2.637 multiplied by 10 raised to minus 3 T square by 2. Now have to put value of T square, that can be given by 973.15 whole raised to square minus 303.15 whole raised to square divided by 2, this 2 plus this term, in this term given that 3.12 multiplied by 10 raised to 5 into, have to put value of this t raised to minus 1. T raised to minus 1, which means 1 upon t. So 1 upon t, that can be given by 1 upon 973.15, which is the upper limit, minus lower limit, which is the 1 upon 303.15. Now calculating this whole term, we will get 16.628 as it is, 8423.24 plus 1127.477 minus 708.5851. Now again calculating this term, we will get delta H is equal to 128.470 kilojoule. So this is becomes our answer. This much amount of heat is required for CaCO3 to heat up from 30 degrees Celsius to 700 degrees Celsius. So this becomes our answer. Now let's calculate second numerical. In this numerical, given that steady state flow in heat exchanger at approximately atmospheric pressure, what is amount of heat required when 10 mole of SO2 is heat from 200 degrees Celsius to 1100 degrees Celsius? Heat capacity of SO2 is given by Cp upon R by this term, which given in joule per mole into Kelvin. So let's calculate this numerical. So first let's write given data. In statement given that there is a 10 moles, so N becomes 10, T1 which is 200 degrees Celsius. If we are going to converting in Kelvin, then it becomes 473.15 Kelvin, and T2 which is 1100 degrees Celsius, which becomes 1373.15 Kelvin. So using this data can calculate amount of heat required. So we know that this process occurs at atmospheric pressure, which means constant pressure. So Q becomes delta H, and that can be given by integration of T1 to T2 and Cp delta T or dt. So this equation becomes Q is equal to delta H is equal to integration of T1 to T2 and Cp dt. Now we have to replace this Cp with Cp by R, because Cp upon R value given in statement. That's why we have to replace this Cp by Cp upon R. If we want to replace this Cp in Cp upon R, then we have to multiply and divide with R. So let's multiply and divide with R in this equation. We will get delta H is equal to N into R, integration of T1 T2 Cp upon R dt. Now let's put this value of Cp upon R in this equation. We will get Q is equal to delta H is equal to R into N, integration of T1 T2 Cp upon R dt. So it becomes Q is equal to delta H is equal to value of R, which is a 8.314 multiplied by 10 integration T1 T2 value of Cp upon R, which is 5.699 plus 0.801 multiplied by 10 raised to minus 3t minus 101.015 multiplied by 10 raised to 5 t whole raised to minus 2. So using this value of Cp upon R in this equation, we will get 5.699 plus 0.801 801 multiplied by 10 raised to minus 3t minus 1.015 multiplied by 10 raised to 5 t whole raised to minus 2 into dt. Now let's put all the value and integrate this term, putting value of t1 t2 and integrating this term will get q is equal to delta h is equal to 83.14. If we are going to multiply this 8.314 with this 10, it's become 83.14, and integrating this term we will get 5.699. Integration of this becomes t here plus 0.801 multiplied by 10 raised to minus 3, integration of this t which becomes t square upon 2, and integration of this term will become t raised to minus 1 upon minus 1. So minus 1 and minus becomes plus, so this term becomes plus 1.015 multiplied by 10 raised to 5 t raised to minus 1, upper limit minus lower limit. So lower limit which is 473.15 and upper limit which is 1373.15. Now putting this upper limit and lower limit and calculating this term, we will get 83.14 into 5129.1 plus 665.49 minus 140.16. By calculating this term, we will get delta H which is 470072.55 joule. So let's write in kilojoule. So it's become 470.072 kilojoule. So this becomes our answer. So this much amount of energy is required for heat up 10 mole SO2 from 200 degrees Celsius to 1100 degrees Celsius. So I am completing my lecture here. Thank you.